Okay guys, so it is Friday, a little bit before noon, and I just got out of the mall. So I had to go to a mall kind of near my house to get access to the Haus Labs foundations because there was just way too many shades, and the undertones that were listed, it made absolutely no sense. When I kept trying to input foundation matches to kind of get the match that I should get, it just wasn't working. Only one of the foundations, I think when I did one of the Dior foundations, they gave me a foundation match, and so I was gonna kind of order that, but then I realized I had time today and I wanted to make this a very cohesive review. So what I'm gonna do, like I said, I just picked up the foundation. I'm just gonna show you the swatches, give you guys the colors. I'm also gonna give you screenshots so you have the undertones that each color is toted to be. And then later tonight, I'm going to just apply it just to see the best application method. Then the next 2 days, what I'm going to do is do a wear test and just show you guys my overall thoughts in the very last day, so you guys can get a full encompassing video in this one, because this isn't going to be the first video on the tube, and so it wouldn't make sense for me personally to do a first impression. So let's get into it. On my hand, I swatched 3 different shades. So this first one closest to my knuckles is in 470. That's the shade that the computer said would be perfect for me. Then this is 480 and this is 490. As you can see, there's not a huge difference between these 2 shades, and I will come in closer that you guys can see. Really, the biggest difference is that 470 is warmer than 480. 480, I would say, has a little bit more of a yellow base, whereas 480 is a little bit more red orangey based. And so for that reason, I decided to go with the middle one. I actually have the middle one swatched on my forehead right now. And so yeah, I did pick that up. I also picked up a couple other things. I guess I can talk about them really quickly, and then we will jump into the first kind of application. So like I said, I got 470 in the foundation. I also got the Briogeo hair mask. Apparently your hair is supposed to feel 8 times softer after 2 uses. So I figured it'd be interesting to test that out and see if that's actually factual. Then I also got a Give quad. I know these are old, but I never picked it up on launch because it looked too warm tone online, but when I saw it in person and I actually swatched it, it doesn't come off too warm tone. So I'm actually really excited for this. And then I got the Hourglass Light Palette Volume 3. So this is like the dark tone one. So yeah, you know, I did some damage. Y'all can calculate that in your own head. I was astonished. This is what it looks like. I was astonished when that woman told me the price that I had to pay. So yeah, that's all I got for this part. Let's just get into the meat and potatoes. Alrighty guys, so as you saw just a little bit ago, I did shop in store to Sephora to get this foundation, and I'm gonna just do first application just so we can figure out if I prefer this with a sponge application or a brush, so that for tomorrow when I do the full wear test, I can really give this foundation the best shot. I do have my normal primer on, which is just the Melt Grip Hydro Gripping Primer, so that is kind of my no fuss no muss primer. So if this doesn't work with that, I know there's an issue there. As I said, I got the shade 480 medium deep neutral, and let me get my phone so I can tell you guys the undertone. Okay, so this, they say that this is medium deep with neutral balanced undertones. There also was something that said the next one, which was another kind of alternative, was medium deep with cool golden olive undertones, and that was 470. But I don't find that I lean towards cool. I find that I lean more warm, but I also felt like that foundation overall just leaned very warm on my skin. So it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Same packaging as last time. It has this kind of recycled packaging feel or whatever. There are 30 milliliters or 1 fluid ounce. It also, as always, says the Haus Labs by Lady Gaga. And let's see, there are 51 shades, which is why I went in store, because it was just too much to try and figure out based on the swatches online. This has a 12-month shelf life. It is recyclable, and it doesn't say anything about it being vegan, cruelty-free, anything like that. But on the back, it does say shake well before use. So I am going to do that. But first, let's look at the packaging of this. And this is what it looks like. Very, very interesting bottle, and it does have a pump in case you were interested. So I'm just going to go ahead and shake this really quickly. Alrighty, so this is my face with just my primer. I do have a lip oil on too in case you are interested. I am just going to pump. I'm going to do 2 pumps, okay? And this is going to go on my left side. So I'm just going to take my time and just apply the foundation. Now, this is looking kind of gray. Oh no. You see, it's looking a little gray. Definitely not my perfect shade match. God darn it. Okay, let's keep going though. So this, like I said, is just the 2 pumps applied with the sponge on this side. I like the finish. I think it looks nice and hydrated. I do believe this totes to being a buildable foundation with more of a natural finish, just in case you did not know. And like I said, this is the side. It definitely does work with my neck undertone though. I think my face is just warmer because it's darker. So I'm not mad at this shade. Okay. And then I'm just going to use my Sigma F83 brush. I'm going to do 2 pumps on this side as well. Okay, I just wanted to scoot back so you guys could see. This is the foundation. Of course, this side is the brush side. This side is the sponge side. If I'm looking in the mirror up close, I don't see a real difference at all. I think they both have a very similar coverage, and I do have hyperpigmentation on both sides, so I would really be able to tell that. So I don't think that it really matters which application method you use. I do prefer a sponge, so I'll probably use a sponge again tomorrow. But what I want to look at is this shade match. I don't know. Let me know down below what you think. I think this might be good with everything on, but right now it's looking a little suspect. So what I'm gonna do is just hop off camera really quickly. I'm just gonna apply my normal products, so my normal concealer, my normal powder, my normal bronzer, all of that jazz, and then I'll be back to show you guys the finished look. Alrighty, so this is just a semi-finished look for me. I put on lips, eyes, brows, powder, concealer, and foundation. I did not put on any bronzer. I wanted you guys to see true to face to neck what it looks like, and honestly I don't think it looks bad. I actually think it looks really nice. Now I did feel the need to powder, and I will kind of come back a little bit more and do some more investigation on, you know, do I really need to powder? Will it set itself down? But I'm a combination girl, so I always powder regardless. But I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like. I am just gonna add just a tinge of powder bronzer on top, and I'm just gonna wear this for the rest of the night. It is just shy of 6 o'clock, so I'll probably be wearing this for maybe a good 6 hours, just depending. So I want to see kind of how this wears, what pros, cons, and I'm already seeing, and then tomorrow I will kind of come back to give you guys my thoughts while I'm applying it for a full day, because I will come back pretty early tomorrow so that we can get a full normal day day in all natural lighting. And I don't think I said it earlier, I am only using natural lighting, and then of course my ceiling light, which is typical for majority of my videos. If you're wondering what's on my eyes, it is the Glaminatrix Nearly Natural palette, and then on my lips is the NYX lip thing. I never remember what this is until I have to link it, so I will have it down below, as well as everything for all of my days. So let me just throw on some bronzer just for my happiness, and then I will go about my day. So yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay guys, so it is pretty late. It is almost 11 o'clock, and I just want to get the makeup off. I'm just feeling slightly tired, but not tired enough to actually go to sleep. So I want to curl in my bed, and I don't like to do that with makeup on. I said I was going to stay up to about midnight-ish, and I am, but I just, like I said, I want to curl in my bed now, so time to take the makeup off. I've already pulled off the lashes. They did their time, okay? They are now in my empties drawer because I've worn them a lot, okay? A lot. But I wanted to just show you guys the effects of this foundation. So I have actually been inside the house for the past about 5 hours. I think that's about the length of time I've had this on. Like I said, it's about 11 o'clock right now. And I will take off my glasses. My glasses have been on and off all night, just depending on where I was and what I was doing. And I also wanted to show you guys a different lighting setup. So this is in my bathroom lighting, and it's just 3 normal LED lights. So, you know, kind of sketchy when it comes to lighting, but different than what you guys saw before. And I will be doing a whole bunch of different lighting all throughout this video. Okay, let's get to the point. Let's look at the match. I think the match looks good in this lighting. As you can see, it's about this area that is the actual foundation. This part is my bronzer, and the corner is my bronzer. So definitely look in this area. This part is, of course, my concealer, so don't really look there. I think overall it looks like this definitely is one skin. I definitely should have brought it down on my neck, but that's just like a personal, I always forget to do that, to be quite honest. But this is looking really good. It looks like it might have broken up, or it's starting to break up a little bit there. I do have quite deep smile lines, so that's probably why. I'm just trying to get as close as I can with this camera and also figure out where to look. I don't think it's really showing or really highlighting any of my pore areas. I think this looks fine. There's no real problem areas in my forehead, anything like that. And I think overall it really doesn't look greasy, oily, anything like that. It looks quite nice. It looks like I could have just put this on 2 days ago. Hopefully not 2 days ago. It looks like I could have just put this on a couple of minutes ago, because it has a natural sheen to it, but that's about it. And that's pretty much what this foundation looked like at the beginning. So I'm thinking this could be a banger. Okay, a banger. So we'll see. Tomorrow's gonna be the real test. I actually will be leaving the house, and depending on if the location requires a mask, I will be putting a mask on. So this will be a real good test tomorrow and Sunday. So hopefully you guys are interested. I will do like timestamps down below for each day, so it's just easier for you all and hopefully for me. And yeah, that's pretty much that. I'm ready to take this makeup off, maybe curl up in my bed, read a little bit of a book I haven't read in a week, which is a long time for me, but a lot of new changes, and so some things had to be sacrificed. So yeah, anyways, good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow when it's time to put on a full new beat. Alrighty, so I need to head out the door in just a bit, but I want to go ahead and start my wear test for today. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the foundation back out of its packaging. As you guys know, I prefer to use a sponge, so that's what I am going to do. I'm going to start off with 3 full pumps of the foundation on the butt of my sponge and see how far that gets me. I do also already have all of my skincare and a primer down. I am, of course, still using my Milk Makeup primer. That's just, you know, my go-to right now. It is my Project Pan, and I just really know what that does with other foundations, so it's just easier when testing a foundation that is new to keep, you know, some of those other variables standard. So this is it with 3 pumps, and I will say it's not full coverage. You can still see some of my hyperpigmentation, but it's pretty covered up. Like, in the grand scheme of things, it's not bad. I am just gonna go down my neck just because I have an interview, and so I want to make sure everything's looking good. The foundation matches. I just, you know, want to make sure my neck looks good too. As weird as that sounds, but this is it. So as you can see, it is a little bit overcast, so I think the lighting is a bit off, but as I showed you guys last night in my clip, once everything is put together, I think it'll look really nicely. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put on all of my makeup. This is gonna be a very, very simple beat. Like I said, I have interviews, so I try to kind of dial down my makeup looks during those and just do very, very light natural makeup. So let me do that really quickly. I'll come to show you guys what it looks like. We'll zoom in so you guys can see it up close and personal with this camera, and then I will come back later on today. I'll do a full-on 8-hour wear test, so you have plenty of time to see really what this foundation does on my skin. And once again, in case I didn't say it for whatever reason earlier, I am oily in the T-zone and I am normal on the out perimeter, although it does take quite a while now for my oils to really project because my skincare game has just been really good. So let me do all of that and I'll come back to show you guys what it looks like. Alrighty, so this is the finished look that I'm going to be going into this interview with, and I'm just gonna come in really, really closely so that you guys can see. Sorry, I know I'm right on top of my mic, but as you can see, my pores look really good. They don't look overly emphasized, which is very nice. My skin overall looks very, very smooth. Like I said, you can see slight bits of my hyperpigmentation still, but in the grand scheme of things, my skin looks like a very even finish and a very even like base, very even canvas. I didn't put too much base makeup on just because I like to keep it very simple when I'm out and about for like business type situations. So I mean, like I said, I did drop it down my neck, but as you can see, this outer décolleté area pretty much aligns with that skin tone, and it overall looks nice. The sun is starting to come out just a bit, so now you can see even better the kind of full-on look of my skin. And if you're wondering the lip combination, I used a whole bunch of things. I'll do my best to put them down below, but it was the one Haus lip liner that I have, my MAC Aaliyah lip liner, and then my Dare Me lip oil from Lunar Beauty. So that's it for now. My eyes is just a brown eyeshadow and a brown liner, nothing crazy. So I will come back later on tonight to show you guys what the evolution of this makeup is, plus or minus maybe a little couple of things, because I do need to film later and I do like to have a little bit more makeup on when I'm filming. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alrighty guys, so I just wanted to show you guys in natural lighting. I believe the sun is behind me right now, but this is still pretty true to what the foundation and the eye look and everything looks like in person. This is pretty much my skin tone, because sometimes I feel like my studio lighting doesn't give you a most accurate representation of what my skin tone is, and I just wanted to show you guys really closely like what the foundation and everything is looking like. So let me pull it out of this carrier. And so like I said, I mean, yes, I have pores, but they're not emphasized or anything like that. Everything is looking really, really good. It's even, there's a level of coverage, but not overly. It's definitely not full coverage. And yeah, that's that. Now that I took that lip gloss off my lips, or off my teeth, and yeah, I think that's it. I need to actually head in to figure out where I need to go and be ready for what I need to do, but I just wanted to give you guys that check-in. I also did blot my lip product. I felt like there was a lot of glossy finish and I didn't want it to be too glossy in the event that I need to put a mask on. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys in later. Alrighty, so I wasn't planning to do a check-in today, but why not? I'm about to start filming my next video, so why not go ahead and do a check-in? It is now just shy of 5 o'clock, which means I have had this makeup on for a little bit, about 6 hours, right? Because I put it on, I had to put it on sometime before noon, so it's been somewhere around 6 hours, and my oils are definitely starting to peek through. It's definitely starting to look a nice healthy sheen, but this is also what my skin looks like just in a normal day at this time, so I'm not really perturbed at all. I don't feel as though any of the product has separated. Let's come in closer. And I'm gonna get a mirror so I can really look into it. Okay, I think my pores are starting to get a little bit more emphasized, but that comes with the territory of like more oils being shown and seen. Even on my forehead, I'm still looking good. There's no seeping into my smile lines, and I do have deep smile lines up there. Same with even my mouth. I think by this time yesterday, stuff was already seeping into those lines, but I don't see it. The only kind of things that I would like to fix is just because of my glasses. I have been out and about all day, and so I think I'm gonna just try to use my sponge from earlier, and I'm just gonna kind of tap in that area just to kind of press that product together. And I tend to actually use the same side that I put my powder on, because I do apply my powder with my sponge, and just kind of press that into that one area as well. So that's all the touching up I did. I also did apply a new lip product. I'm trying to remember what I had on. I had on the lip liner combination with a lip oil when I left, and I just literally just put on the By Mario Lip Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Serum in Mocha Glow. I actually really like the formula. It is a little tingly, but it's not like obsessive, and I think it looks nice. So yeah, I'm just about to go ahead and film my new makeup releases, but I figured I would go ahead and kind of do a check-in for you all who may be interested. I might go ahead and add blush, because I do like to have a blush and a little bit of highlighter on when I do those videos, but yeah, that's gonna be the only thing that I change. I'm not gonna do too much. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a couple more hours to kind of do the full-on 8-hour mark check-in. Okay guys, so it is just shy of 9 o'clock on Saturday, and I am itching to get this makeup on. I have had off, not on, off. I have had this on all day pre-noon, because I had to be somewhere at noon, so it should have been on my face since like 11. I think I started putting my makeup on around 11 o'clock because I had to get out the house by 11:30. So that sounds about right. So this has been over 8 hours. And for me, don't mind my hair being a hot mess. For me, this is not an overproduction of oil. This is pretty standard for the amount of oil I have. There is a little bit of foundation missing around my jawline and under. Don't mind that. That is definitely because I had to wear a mask today at the location that I kind of had to have my meeting or whatever. So that's why some of that foundation is gone. But even then, there's still quite a nice layer of coverage there. And like I said, yes, it is oily, but it's not too bad. What I'm gonna do, I did add blush and highlighter, so don't mind this area, don't mind my nose, and then of course same with this area. So there is still oil production. You can see it clearly all up in my forehead and in my T-zone, but on the outer portions of my face, that is definitely just additional makeup that I added on after. What I'm gonna do now is get some tissue, because I am in my restroom, and I'm just gonna blot just to see how it does, because I know some people do blot. I don't, but in the event that you care. And then I'll also show you guys the lack of breaking up really in my kind of problem areas. Of course, in my nose area for my glasses, it definitely broke up. That, well, it didn't really break up, but it seeped into those kind of areas, which is typical. That's a normal type of situation for me. But let me get some paper towel and then we can keep moving forward. Okay, really quickly, just got some clean tissue, of course, and I'm just gonna use just a little bit, and I'm just gonna tap all along the T-zone on just one side of my face. Make sure I actually do this right. This is why I don't do this, because I just am terrible at it. You can see it took off a little bit of foundation, but not too much in the grand scheme of things. And as you can see, honestly, it looks right back to kind of its normal or its original state. Is it like as good? Because of there's a little bit of lacking of coverage because of the lack of foundation because of the mask, but otherwise, I mean, it pretty much looks back to normal. So for me, this is doing really good. This is doing very good. Like I said, it's almost 9 o'clock, which means this will have been almost 10 hours wear, and I am generally never going to wear foundation that long unless I'm at work. So yeah, I think this did well. And once again, you guys can see the match. Hopefully you guys have been taking note of that in all of the clips I've been showing. So yeah, let me get into the shower, get ready for the night, and then I will see you again tomorrow with kind of my final thoughts as I apply this foundation for the third time a row in this video. Alrighty guys, so today is Sunday, and this will effectively be the third day that I have worn this foundation in a row. Now for today, I've already been out and about. I've already done some things in the house. I actually tried to repot this plant. Hopefully it takes. I've never repotted a plant before, so I kind of googled / used the instructions on the new soil, and I hope I was not too conservative with the amount of like old soil that I left, but per usual, I'm on a tangent. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys my thoughts when it comes to this particular foundation. Of course, this is the Haus Labs foundation, and I currently have it in the shade 480. Now with this foundation, I think it's a really good foundation. As you can see from yesterday's wear test, it pretty much stays together. I don't really see much breaking up at all for my skin type, which is really nice. That's the one thing I can't stand, is if the foundation actually breaks up. Also, it does not look like there is all that much real additional oil production when I'm using this foundation, which is nice. The biggest, I wouldn't even say cons, but the biggest concern I have with this foundation, right, is also one of the best positives, right? It has so many shades that it's so hard to tell which foundation is actually going to work best for you. As you guys saw on the first day when I swatched in store, and then also like in my car and everything, hopefully to make it show real true to color, because you know Sephora lights are Sephora lights. I could have probably gotten away with 470 in addition to 480. Now 490 for me, it felt like a huge jump and just way too deep, but it seems as though I've seen, I believe, only 1 or 2 reviews, I don't actually remember, but they were of an extremely lighter complexion than me, and they were saying a very similar thing where they got 2 different shades and they could make both work. So I don't think it's necessarily about getting the exact shade. Yes, you do want to get the best shade match, but I think even if you get something that might be slightly off, you can make it work as long as it's in the right grouping of colors, if that makes any sense. So I could probably get 470 and still make that work, although I like the undertone for me of this one, and this one is medium deep neutral, whereas if I remember correctly, 470 is medium deep neutral with like golden olive undertones, and this one is just straight up neutral. I like the olive aspect, I don't like the golden aspect. That's why I did not pick up that one, because that one just pulled a little too red on me, whereas I don't mind an olive undertone. I actually think that's what I am, and I think I am slightly warm leaning, but not enough to literally get a gold / olive undertone foundation, if that makes any sense. So it is kind of sunny outside, but it's mainly overcast, so I think this will probably be one of the best days for you guys to see what this looks like on my skin tone. Like I said, I think it applies really nicely. I use 3 pumps, which is indicative of me normally on a sponge, and yeah, I mean, I think it looks really nice on my skin. I think it definitely does kind of combined with my skin, so it doesn't really look like foundation. Like, unless if I just put powder on this, or even honestly if I was able to not have to wear powder, I think this foundation really just works with your skin, so it doesn't really appear to be an actual foundation, which is really nice. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and stop rambling because I feel like I went on a really long tangent talking about this foundation. Let me just finish up my base. I'm just gonna be using Project Pan. I don't think there's anything that I need to test out. So I'm gonna do that very quickly, and then I will come back to give you kind of even more thoughts and kind of close out this video, because if I keep doing it while I'm putting on my makeup, I'm just gonna go into rants. So yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, so as you can see, I have now put on a full face of makeup. As I've done the last 2 days, I will have kind of the big ticket items down below for you all. If you're wondering lips, I put on the Alien Lena liquid lipstick with my Tower 28 gloss on top, and the lip liner is the MAC Aaliyah collaboration. On my eyes, I used the Melt Cosmetics Muerte palette in addition to the ROEN 1111 palette. Of course, I used the like silvery greeny shade on the lid. And then everything else is pretty much Project Pan except for the concealer. I used my REM concealer again. I wanted to get my final thoughts on that. And then for highlighter, I used the Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics Vava Boom highlighter. So those are kind of the big ticket items. So let's get back to the reason why we're here. With this Haus Labs foundation, you get 1 fluid ounce or 30 milliliters of products for $45. There are 51 shades in this range, and they go extremely light to really nicely deep, which is nice. There is a variety of undertones. The biggest concern I would say when it comes to the shade range or kind of the way the shades have been implemented is that there are so many different shades that it can be quite hard to actually find your shade online. Even for me, I would have picked a different shade online based on the shade finder and then also just based on the description. But once I got into store, I really saw that this was what I feel is the best shade in this range, which once again is $480. I can get away with $470, but I would prefer not to have to manipulate that really warm undertone and just go with something like this that is truly neutral and that really works for me. Now, with this foundation, you really are going to get that medium coverage, that medium buildableness. I never really tried to build it up just because this is kind of my home, and I don't think that this would be a type of foundation to actually build the best, my personal opinion. With that, you also do get a very skin-like seamless finish, which I really appreciate. And if you are somebody who is dry skin, I don't have dry skin, I have combination skin, but I would assume that if somebody who has dry skin tries this foundation, they might not actually have to set it because it doesn't necessarily dry down completely, but it's not overly tacky. There's a little bit of moisture in the base, if you will. So for me, I think this is a foundation that can work for everybody. I turned on the light so you guys could see true to color. It looks like it's getting a little bit more overcast than sunny. So I am only 28, so the little bit of wrinkles that I do already have are more so because I am so expressive in my face. So I have pretty deep smile lines here, and then I do have some wrinkles that to some foundations, like even my Fenty Beauty Pro Filter, after about 5 to 8 hours, it's definitely seeping into those lines up here. As you guys saw yesterday, I didn't get that seeping in any of my forehead wrinkles or in my smile lines. That said, even yesterday I took this foundation to a test because I did actually wear a mask. Now you did see a little bit of wear away from those particular areas, but it wasn't like unheard of. It wasn't like I lost a whole patch of foundation and it looked like I was wearing nothing in one area and then everything in another. Now granted, that's the beauty of a medium coverage foundation. If you do happen to kind of wipe off or maybe not blend the best, it's not going to look as stark or as somebody who would have a full coverage foundation. For me, I really do like this foundation. I would recommend it. Is this like a holy grail? I don't really know. I mean, yes, I've worn it 3 times and yes, I've come to my conclusion, but I'm not somebody who actually ever has holy grail foundations. Now, I will say I really do love the Dior Backstage. That is a love of mine, but there have been very few foundations that I can actually say are holy grails and that I'll say I'll actually spend my money on this again. It's very few and far between. So who knows? I'm happy with this shade. I may get the 470 if next year I maybe during the summer I really want to wear this, because I think during the summer this will be a little too neutral for me, whereas that 470 will be the right amount of warmth to really work with my skin during the summer. So I think that's it. I think those are all the questions that I could answer. If there's a question that I did not answer and you have, feel free to comment down below. I will do my absolute best to respond. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.